This is FanSpeak, a weekly live show where the fans of comics and its community are our guests. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. We are very excited and happy to have you here on FanSpeak with this new position in the week on the Hump Day. We're doing Hump Day FanSpeak from now on, and I think that's going to be a real
I like
better.
that.
Much, I do. So
That
do
is a
I.
good day to do anything.
It
Yeah.
is a good day, yeah. But of course, you guys know I have the wet one, the slimy one, the oiled one is with us. How you doing, Booster?
Okay, which one and that? Oh, they're all me. Oh,
They're
shit.
all you.
I was gonna say which one's which. Who's the slime one? Who's the? Oh, it's all me. I'm not doing great now. I'm getting bullied.
Well, it just depends on your action
Feelings are hurt.
mode, really. That's really what it
Yeah.
comes down to. But nevertheless, guys, we're always happy to have our co-host here, the pie expert from New Zealand. He's a good co-host. He knows when to shut up, which is most of the time.
Oh,
But
well, I'm
yeah,
not shutting up at all. Now I'm gonna go into great detail about how I'm not having pies at the moment. I currently have noodles, and they're delicious, and you can't have any.
well, that's okay. But I actually had
Yeah.
myself some. I had myself some bacon this morning. Ooh, it was a bacon morning, maple bacon. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Maple bacon. Ooh, that sounds gorgeous.
It does. But nevertheless, guys, thank you for being in here. Definitely do us a favor and check out those links down below, of course. Particularly our FanSpeak over on Facebook. That is a growing community we're very proud of. So definitely go be part of that. And of course, you can go read and be part of all the things that people are saying, but don't do just that. Give your opinion. Do a review. Put something up. Be part of what's going on. It's a lot of fun. And of course, those of you who are a bit braver, we'd love to have you on the show. This is FanSpeak after all. We'd like to have you come up here and we want to talk icon to icon, please. So hit up my Twitter down below and I will make sure that happens. If you don't trust that I will get to you within a week, which is, I do it within a week, Booster is probably quicker because he has no life.
I have 0 life.
yeah,
I will message you immediately.
Yeah.
I'll send you several messages. I can get you on. You want to be my friend? Let's be friends. You want to chat right
Sure.
now? I'll chat right now.
It is. Yeah, that's really nice. But other than that, we are being live streamers. We really appreciate you guys hitting that share button and letting your family, friends, and extended community know what's going on so they can come over here and join us. But of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention hitting that sub button and the like button and the bell and whatever other hoops and loops the YouTube has decided to put us through. Yes, all those buttons.
Press them all.
Please, yeah. But anyway, we do got a couple things we want to get to before we come to our guests. So just give me one moment here, and I'll come back and introduce the panel. Because of our format today, it's a little different than we usually do, but that's okay. I do want to get some obituaries out of the way because. Yeah, we got a couple
Out of the way. Look, these people died. What a chore for me.
Well,
Goodness
no,
me,
we
just tasteless.
thank you, Booster. But no, I want to mention it. But we do want to have this segment separate. But of course, this is pretty big news. Go ahead, Booster.
Terry Jones of Monty Python, co-founder and British comedy icon, dies at 77.
Yeah, now Terry is maybe one of the more creative of the group, but the less vocal, right?
Hmm.
A lot of those guys are extremely outspoken, and they've all had success in their life. The Monty Python's Flying Circus group, and we love them for it. I mean, the content that's coming out of those guys is amazing. This guy right here, of course, is extremely important member of their group, and he's created and been part of a lot of laughs and a lot of really good stuff. And 77 isn't no spring chicken, but it is kind of young these days to pass away, isn't it? I mean, it's a bit fast. I mean, when I was a kid, that would be considered, admirable age, but we've kind of moved past that. So it's a bit young, really. And I know he will be missed.
I don't know. I'd be happy to die at 77. Once everything stops working, just let me cough off and die. I'll be happy.
Well, Booster, the problem is everything stops working at about 32.
Yeah.
Shit, just kill me by then.
So
everything starts to hurt all the time. It's not
really
fun
working right
downhill.
now.
Goodness gracious, children. But Thunder, and I know you must have something to say about this.
That it's just, I mean, it's really sad. I remember one of my favorite movies for a long time. I guess it still is Holy Grail,
Yeah,
and it's just really sad. It's tragic. The British humor is gone. It's a lost art. The
true.
original style, like they did it in, even their shows and stuff, they've been almost completely Americanized, or all they have is just the snarkiness. They don't have any of the actual dry wit. And it's that generation of British comedians and humorists are just, they're very old now and they're dying off slowly.
Mhm.
It's rough.
It is very true, and the English have lost their sense of humor completely, unfortunately.
Hmm.
This guy, of course, was involved in all those original movies and all the original stuff. I do believe was he. I think he might have been the member that was in the Adventures of Baron Munchausen, right? Pretty sure that was him.
I think so.
Yeah. Now,
Sounds right.
now, of course, you could also have Terry Gilliam, who's probably the most famous of them because he's such a prolific creator. But of course, John Cleese is probably my favorite. And he got himself in a bit of trouble recently too by saying London is no longer English, which is true. But he got
Mm,
himself in trouble because don't pick on the Stanny people. You can't do that, right? Poor John.
especially
But
over there. And it's literally
no.
illegal.
Yeah, no, it is illegal. That's true. Safe journey, sir. Condolences to his family, and yeah, you'll be missed. John, you want to make any comments on this? No,
John might be parent.
He might be parenting. How about you, Todd? You got any comments on Terry Jones?
Um, you know what? I was just at that age where that Monty Python's Flying Circus. It was probably to us years after previewed over there.
A bit.
So yeah, and so you had the Benny Hill and this and that and
Hmm.
the other stuff, and then you started seeing this stuff over here, and I don't know why I remember like Kids in the Hall. Does that sound right? Were
Oh
they
yeah,
also?
that's right. Yeah,
So that was they are funny.
yeah,
They in I used to love that stuff. I used to eat that stuff up. You
yeah.
know.
In living color too. Yeah, that was a pretty good show. All of it
Eh,
was kicking the Saturday Night Live after the '70s anyway. For me, it's interesting you mentioned this, Todd, because for me, when I was a kid, I much preferred Benny Hill. It wasn't until I was older that I could appreciate Terry Jones and his all his ideas and things they had for the Flying Circus. I think it's more of an adult humor, where Benny Hill was just stupid fart jokes, you know.
right.
Yeah, and I could
But a lot of
appreciate.
times Benny Hill, there was I don't know why this comes to mind, but weren't there just episodes where there wasn't a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue? It
Oh
was a
yeah,
lot
sure.
of
Him chasing
so
half-naked
Hey,
women. It was freaking beautiful,
yeah, yeah.
beautiful for a
hey,
seven-year-old
Chester.
boy. Yeah,
I hate to interrupt, but would you like Captain Cummings to come on?
yeah, sure, man. I don't know if I've ever spoken to Captain Cummings before. Actually,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Okay, I'll shoot him the link.
Yeah, no, it's his fault. I'm here, so we shall
It's
pass the
his fault
blame.
you're here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Wow.
pass the blame along.
That phrasing is great. It's perfect. I love it.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, anyway, safe journeys, sir. And it is sad news. And before we come back over and talk to John here for a while, there is another obituary we need to deal with, and this one is equally sad, although for a slightly different generation. I
Mm.
wouldn't know anything about this person if it weren't for my children, actually. But this guy lived a lot longer, of course. But it's pretty sad. I'm going to let Booster handle this one because this is his
Mm.
generation.
No, Dragon Ball narrator Bryce Armstrong has passed away at age 84.
Mm,
And Dragon Ball Z was something that came on after school for me, man. That was airing in New Zealand, what the Funimation version, or 4Kids version, after school in the mid 2000s. And yeah, this guy's voice is iconic as hell.
yeah.
And it's a real shame. But 84, that's a good age. That's a good age to live to.
It is a really good long lived life, and of course he's done many anime. A lot of the stuff that came over from Asia into America, he was involved in the voice acting for those things. So you've probably heard his voice on many things and not really even realized it. It's
Hmm.
kind of like you've been listening to Mark Hamill. He's been with you all along, and even though you might not have realized it, right? Just because
Oh,
he
Mark
was.
Hamill's everywhere.
Mark
Yeah.
Hamill's an amazing, incredibly prolific voice actor. But this guy did quite a bit too. For me, just going through the accolades in here, my favorite of his was, of course, Lupin the Third, which is, I enjoy a lot more than Dragon Ball. But like I said, I saw a lot of Dragon Ball because my kids had it on.
I
So,
definitely couldn't rewatch Dragon Ball Z, but it's still got a special place for me.
what the interesting thing about Dragon Ball is, because this is the English side of it, right? It's not the original Japanese. But my kids didn't watch the original Dragon Ball in English. I mean, in Japanese. They watched it in English.
Hmm.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, a lot of people prefer the English dub to this show to the Japanese. It's one of the few exceptions with anime.
Yeah, yeah, it's very popular. And there's a whole generation that runs from about Booster's age to up about Thundero's age, actually, that are kind of stuck within that Dragon Ball generation. I'm assuming
It
you
was
watched it as well,
huge.
Thundero. Yeah.
Nope.
No, you
Nope. I
didn't.
never really did.
No.
My wife's big into it, but I've never. It just. I once you watch a guy scream for 20 minutes and then blast a dude with energy, you've watched it. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
It's true. It is
Hmm.
true. But that,
There's
that
a gay
doesn't matter.
porn joke somewhere there.
There
Yeah.
is most certainly, but
Yeah.
of course, Bryce Armstrong. Safe journey, sir, and condolences to your family. And yeah, it's always sad when we have deaths that we have to report, but I also think it's incredibly important that we do so. So anyway, let me come back over to the other side, and let's get into talking to our guests here. Now, of course, we're going to start off as we usually do, speaking to Jon Del Arroz. And he's our guest today. We haven't spoken to John in a while, and we're happy to have him here. How you doing, John?
You spelled my name wrong.
No, I didn't.
He did.
How
He
did I?
did. He put an H there.
I don't see an
Oh,
H.
oh yeah,
Terrible.
no, he's
Oh,
right.
I'm gonna refresh it.
All right, fine.
Oh, you little rascal.
By the way, everybody, I want to just daily reminder: Chester is a professional English teacher.
Shut up.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did misspell it. You're right. It's just habit, right? Because John you don't spell your name right. That's what it is.
No, I spell my name right. It's just there's absolutely no reason to have a H there. And traditionally, if you had that H there, OH would be O. So it really should be Joan, if that's the case, right?
Okay.
So
All right. I wasn't going to
so,
say anything, but seeing as you
yeah,
brought
I'm
it
just
up,
saying.
I mean,
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make us think about it because I can.
yeah, you should. You should. I'm completely out of line. But at least I got the Della Rose right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's actually abnormal. So most people botch that pretty good.
See, I didn't pay attention to the
the
John
English
part.
part,
I
but not
focused on the
not the
Della
rest.
Rose. What? Did you say something at all, Booster? Or are you just like making
Me?
some kind
Never.
of,
When have I ever been known to be snarky towards you,
oh,
Chester?
Jesus. God,
My
all right.
dear.
You see what I got to deal
FanSpeak
with?
guy.
All right. Anyway, once again, hi, John.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going awesome, dude. Now, of course, many of you know Jon Del Arroz. Those of you who don't, you are now listening to it, and a radically prolific writer. I mean, how many pieces did you put out in 2019, dude?
I put out about 365 blogs saying that Starfire is the best Titan because it's just true. And I'm not trying to pander to anybody in specific,
I see.
but
I see.
but
There's too many
yeah.
I
photos
see. Yeah.
dedicated to just that.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
no.
of course I'm being serious. Books and comics and such. You're very prolific.
Yeah.
So.
I had I think four novels out last year.
hmm
It sounds right. And then I had one novella, and then I actually put out a short story every month last year, which I'm behind on January, for my Patreon subscribers also, as far as prose goes. And then comics, last year I put out, let's see, the Ember War, I guess, came out last year, so that would be one. One graphic novel of 5 issues, 120 pages. Flying Sparks Volume 2 came out last year. Flying Sparks Volume 3 came out last year. Flying Sparks Meta Man Special came out last year. And I think that's everything that came out last year. So we're talking 3 graphic novels, 4 novels, 1 single issue that was a one-off of a comic, and 1 novella. So not too bad.
Not too bad indeed, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome, actually. And it's always interesting to see what he's working on. Of course, he's working on something new. We're going to show off here in a moment. But it looks like I just had someone else pop up in here. Of course, we have Thundero and Todd with us as well. We have a Wows. How you doing, Wows?
Oh, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm always fantastic. Is this Captain Cummins?
Do you know the way?
I most certainly do know the way, sir. I most certainly do. And I'm glad you're in here because you know I got a bit of a bone to pick with you. Yeah, a little bit. It's
That didn't
He's
take long.
coming at you.
yeah. It is 100% and absolutely your fault that I have a YouTube channel. Do you know that, sir?
I wouldn't want to put that hex on anybody.
It's your fault I deal with Chester all the time, though.
Well, no, I'm really happy to have you in here, man, because you know, well, 2 years ago or something like that, when all this stuff was going on, I was watching a bunch of comic channels, and I was watching Ethan because he was doing art stuff, which I don't know, he doesn't do that anymore. But I was watching Jim Lee, and I was watching some other commentators. I think his name's Rob over at Comic Historian, maybe, or Comics Explained. But one of the other channels I was watching was your channel. And you started getting into this nonsense that was going on, which we all agreed with. It was like, you know, what the hell is Marvel doing? And then, of course, Richard Meyer came to exist and all those other things that happened. But it came out of you. You're the one that led me to all of that. So it's your fault.
It's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Well, I'm honored
Yeah.
that I can corrupt everyone in such a manner.
Yeah. No, but seriously, thank you for what you did, man, because I would have never imagined I would have a YouTube. And I have a YouTube because of, you know, watching you and getting involved in this community. And little by little, things kind of grew up into the fact that I started a channel. And we've been going, 15 months now, Booster? Something like that. You know,
just about. I think September is our 2-year cycle,
it
right?
would be, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, well, thank you, sir. I mean, absolutely. I've been enjoying your content for quite a while, and it's just it's nice to finally speak to you. So welcome.
Well, the honor's all mine. Thanks for having me on.
Now that he's here, we can corrupt this stream and talk about sports and Bitcoin for the rest of the show.
All right.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
What are you, nerds? Let's talk about comics instead.
Yeah. Although sports, I think I get into. I don't know much about Bitcoin. Although I'm sure Thundero knows everything about it because he's a internet underlord. So
There's
No,
nothing that
not
gets a
actually.
woman more excited than fake money in comic books.
it's true. It's true, dude. It's fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, what I am going to do here, I'm going to jump over and I'm going to take a look at what John's working on right now, and then we'll just might have more of an open conversation. But let's do what we came here to do first. So, share this out. And now, John, you do have a new book coming out, a graphic novel. I'm going to bring it up right now so everybody could take a look at it.
This is just a single issue of a graphic novel. So it's this is going to be a 4-issue series, and this is the first, and it's called Clockwork Dancer, as you can see by the title. And it's about a former agent of Queen Victoria's Secret Service who builds a clockwork automaton, and wholesomely and makes her dance ballet and stuff like that. Because what else would you do with a robot? Don't answer that. But
I had 5 answers. But all right.
Rhetorical question, people. And it's they end up going on the run from the government because the government doesn't like the fact that she exists because it's kind of creepy. So
sure,
yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. Now, who did your interiors here? I know your cover was done, which I don't know if I have the cover, but your cover was done by Brad Ashworth. Pencil
yeah,
for
it's
Life,
on the
of course.
Amazon link. There's no cover on the PDF there,
No,
but
that's okay.
yeah, it's Brad Ashworth did the cover. He did a great job. I'm very happy. I try to spread the love and support of as many comic artists in the community that I can on these projects, and whether it's pinups or covers or whatever. I like to get everybody involved. But the interior art is Mary MacArthur, and Mary I actually met on Gab, believe it or not. and Gab, like for like 2 weeks before it got overrun by weird trollish things, like had a little bit of a community to it and had a budding comic community to it. And this gal Mary always wanted to make a comic and didn't know where to start. And do you guys know Paula Ritchie?
Not
She's
offhand.
she just ran a Kickstarter comic last year, and she has been following me for a while, and introduced me to this Mary girl. Said, "Hey, John, you might want to talk to this gal." And sure enough, we talked, and I was like, "Let's make a comic," and she was down. So, and I'm very happy because these collaborative efforts don't always bear fruit, and I think she did a great job. I loved her design on the Dancer, especially. She made that like porcelain mask face, with the whole robot deal and the dress. It's just very, very unique. So yeah, it was a very nice story. Very nice woman. She's like a off the grid type person who like literally lives in a log cabin somewhere in the middle of nowhere and just draws. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool in a way. Yeah. So did she do the colors as well, or did you have someone else do that?
The colors are done by Emmanuel Torres, and he does a lot of my colors. So he did he did Ember War also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we did a faded. You see a little faded gradient thing that looks a little spotty. We were trying to like age the pages a little bit. And so that's where that comes from. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go too deep into it. I'm only doing the first couple of pages here. I don't want to go too far, but it is interesting, very stylistic, which is cool. That's always nice to have. Do keep in mind, John, that we have on our Drawn and Quartered Ultimate Edition that we do on Thursday on the show. We have a stable of well over 100 artists. I mean, if you're ever in need of an artist, this is the place you come talk to about it. We get a lot of great artists here.
That sounds great.
Sound like a pimp.
I am a pimp, damn it.
We have all sorts of artists. You want one? Yeah, we got all kinds of flavors that'll make you happy, Daddy.
Who should I work with?
Oh, dude, there's so many. I mean, you got Jim O'Reilly, you got Eric Hawkins, you have
you got me,
Alan with Howl Comics, you got Matt Weldon, you have there's a huge list of people. You got Siege.
You just named 4 people that are all very busy on projects.
I'm sure they are, and Zach is busy too.
Middleman out, Chester.
Yeah.
Why don't you just cut the middleman out and put him in the Discord, and then he can just.
Oh, dude, that's what you should do. Thundero, do that. Put him in the Discord, dude.
I'm not in that Discord.
Why aren't you in that? Booster,
I don't know. You never put me in that one.
Booster, put them both. Booster's in charge of this. Understand? He is a slacker. Put them.
Booster.
You pieces of shit.
No, put them both in there, dude.
I'll put you all in the Discord. Everyone gets to be in the Discord. Fuck it. Everyone open Discord.
F-bomb, sir. Beep beep. You bastard. Anyway, but yeah, no, John, you should definitely get in there and chat with people. It's a huge stable of really good artists, man. It would be useful for you. That's actually not a bad idea, Thunder. We might want to think about throwing as many creators as we can into that Discord. Actually, it'd be a good point. Cut out the middlemen. Let them talk to each other. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to come out with monthly comics, or at least an equivalent of that, and do that at this stage. I can't employ somebody full time, unfortunately, yet. But so right now, I get 4, 5, 6 issues out of Jethro a year for Flying Sparks. I've got Mary on this. Hopefully we get another issue or 2 out this year. She's collaborating on this 100%. I'm not paying her up front, so every sale, a lot of that money goes to her. So if you want to support a new artist, this is a great way to do so.
That's awesome.
But they're all kind of doing it part-time for me. I've got a couple more, but yeah, I want to have books coming out every single month, just like somebody would be visiting a comic shop, just like any real publisher that's in comic shops would do. And so yeah, it's definitely getting a bunch of different projects going is the way for that.
Now, you're not necessarily doing the crowdfunding route. You're just going with because you do a lot of Amazon stuff. You put a lot of books and things on Amazon. Are you doing the crowdfunding anymore?
Yeah, I'm doing both. So I think there's a limit to crowdfunds because it's fairly.
I think he just roboted out.
Did he die?
He might be parenting again. I think.
I'm not. Is it not coming through?
No, you're fine now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Say it again.
I do the crowdfunds, but I think there's a limit because the crowdfunds are pretty expensive for the graphic novels, and it's because it covers the art costs up front. And then on top of that, you know, you got to print all these books and all that, and do a print run and all that. So there's that, and I like that. And what it does is it allows me some extra, you know, sort of cash that's in the business to get things like the coloring done for Clockwork Dancer or whatnot. And so I want to utilize both, and I want to utilize the crowdfunds like quarterly to do a big project and really get all the art paid for and really make a splash. And then in between, I want to do some extra Amazon stuff so that people can get some extra content to read, like Clockwork Dancer, for something super inexpensive, like $2.99 for the digital edition, right?
Right.
It just allows people to read a book, you know, and not have to you know, break the bank to do so. So, and I think to grow, we really need to do that.
I agree.
We got to capture a lot more audience, and we've got to have it available for people to read.
Yeah, and you know, doing the crowdfunding stuff is great, but also trying to get, you know, into the old formats or even some of the new formats. We've seen a lot of our people go over to like webtoon stuff or webcomic stuff, and they're finding a little bit of success. And like the thing I mentioned with the art challenge show we do on Thursday here on this channel, that is actually the whole reason we put that together was to try to get these, you know, basically pro artists who just aren't pro yet. You know, they're not prolific, you know, making a lot of money. We put it together for them to get opportunity, and so many of them have. It's like the most successful thing we've ever done.
So we could sculpt their talent and make a show based on them.
Well, that
And then
no,
we
shut
rake in all
up,
the views and
Booster.
subs and super chats.
Shut up. We don't monetize anything here, you jerk.
For chats we don't even get.
Yet.
Yes. Yeah,
Donate
but
to my PayPal, my Patreon, my
oh God, here we go.
GoFundMe,
Here we
my
go.
Indiegogo, my Kickstarter.
Uh-huh.
They're
now-
all under the same name. Booster doesn't want to work.
Yeah, but see, if you make too much money, isn't that going to mess with your welfare?
Shit.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. But
I have some. Don't you yell at me? That man's yelling at me to get a job.
he's right. He's right. Tell him he's right. The American agrees with him.
I'm not telling him anything.
All right. But actually, I do got a question for Captain Cummings here. Now, you've been around for a long time. Everybody knows you, and you do comic reviews and opinions and stuff like that. But have you created any comic yourself yet?
No.
Why?
I mean, right now I'm currently wasting my time in college, writing papers and then making John here read them.
I see.
He usually enjoys them.
True.
I see. So you're busy with life. No, because I mean, if anybody who hasn't put a comic out yet should, it's probably you, dude.
I mean, I've kind of thought about it, but I just haven't, like, you know, come up with an idea that I, you know, care about. And then it's like, you know, you got to actually think about it to do something good. And then you're like, oh crap, I got to write a paper on good times or something stupid. So I'll do that instead.
I read that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier. That's why.
Dynamite.
I also wrote a paper on pirates. Maybe I should do a pirates comic.
There you go. Well, I mean, dude, if
Pirate comics would be
Richard
fun.
Meyer can make a comic book, anybody can. I mean, come on.
Brutal.
Oh.
Too far, Booster? No. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing.
No, I think it would be great to have a Cotton Cummins book, dude. People would buy that. I mean, because there's a lot of people that came into the community through you, dude. You were such a motivating factor in the beginning, back when things were so hopeful and positive. Of course, they went a little bit sideways, but we found a new direction
just
anyway.
a little, yeah.
Well, they did.
I want it to be a self-insert character book where you just make in jokes between you and your friends, and then sell it.
That'll
I
work.
could do that. Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't talking to you, Booster.
Oh. Oh.
Anyway, all right, let's jump over and let's do some of our news stuff. We'll come back at the end of the show and talk about the book. Now, this again, Clockwork Dancer. This is a straight Amazon purchase. This is not a crowdfunder at all, right?
Nope, directly on Amazon. Issue number 1's out now. Mary is working hard on issue number 2. I mean, she goes at whatever speed she goes because there's a side project for her, and it just is what it is. But she's committed to doing all 4 issues. Things get absolutely crazy in this storyline, and eventually, we're gonna have a big automaton robot war that I'll just say is coming. So
that's sweet. That's always good.
Yeah.
Robot War. We vote for that. Definitely check that out. One of the moderators, maybe Booster, go over and make sure you put that Amazon link to the page.
Chester, why would you even question
true.
if that's not already in the chat?
Because
What are
I'm
you
a
doing?
micromanager,
Pandaro's
sir.
onto it. Yeah.
Pandaro has always had my back from day one. He's the best.
Literally.
Literally.
Sure. All right, so let's go over here and take a look at some news. And please do not be shy. Pipe in and give your opinion on anything you think is worthy of saying, or even not. And of course, remember that the beating post here is Booster, so have at it. Now.
I can take it. I'm a tough little boy.
He is. Now, this is from Somali, who posts quite a bit on our FanSpeak page, which is awesome. Well, this is Vinny Tartamella's Through the Woods is returning Indiegogo. It didn't fund. If you remember, a long time ago, nearly a year ago, we talked about this project, and it looks so beautiful. It's just absolutely stunning art on this project, and he's bringing it back to Indiegogo in hopes of it being successful this time, because remember, he came out with a project after that was successful. And I'm going to see if we can't get Vinny back on the show to talk about Through the Woods, because we did talk about his last project. I can't remember the name offhand.
What was his last?
Tartamella. Well, he's been on the show.
Did I just not show up, or do I just have a really terrible memory? Oh man,
you have a pretty bad memory. I told you, dude. You
can't.
Cannot drink straight grain alcohol every day.
I cope with the torment I get from you people.
All right.
His last book was like a sci-fi book.
Yeah, it was. It was really gorgeous.
Dystopian sci-fi.
Yeah. But I really love the work this guy's doing. Very interesting stuff. He's got a lot of fans over here with his work, and there's a lot of people who love this book as well. And it was really unfortunate.
I think he grouped himself with a bunch of frat boys, and I think that hurt him.
He did, yeah. But this right here, hopefully it will fund because it's just beautiful, and he's a really cool guy. We've talked to him. I really like his focus and his idea. Just let me shut up and let's just look at it. And this one we can watch without worrying about being copyright claimed. Maybe.
As far as we know.
You say that.
Until after the stream.
Yeah, right. Bastards. He's not talking over this. I don't wonder why, because the last one he did. But this is a really beautiful book.
Frankie and Vinny Tartamella comes Through the Woods, the collected edition.
It's a Woodsman.
That's the Woodsman, yeah. That's what
this edition compiles the 3-issue miniseries into one solid volume for fans of Through the Woods and newcomers alike.
I do like it.
Written by
nice.
Frankie Tartamella,
beautiful.
And fully illustrated and assembled by Vinny Tartamella. Through the Woods.
The colorist.
Here we go. White genocide again.
No, it's like he's rendering in white.
He is.
There's none there. There's none there. Oh,
I like the effect though, Todd.
Reporter Laura Langley, as she unearths the tragic
if it wasn't there,
newly inherited home,
then you would like it even more. Put it that way.
No, maybe. But then again, that's why we have Todd on here. He's a professional artist, and his opinion is,
he's a professional nitpicker.
He is. Yeah, but I mean, that's why he's here.
I'm not that bad. You know that. Booster.
That's what art is. That is basically what art is, Booster. It's just nitpicking. Constant.
Yeah. But anyway, I just want to play a little bit of it. I think it's a beautiful project. I'm really happy he's bringing it back, and I really hope he and his brother have success on this one. Yeah.
We're in the more videos. Which video of ours is that?
I don't know. I have.
Let's watch one of our own videos. Let's do that.
Oh, it is weird. One of our own videos. Well, it's this one right here. We're live. Look at that.
Whoa!
We show up in the suggestions.
Shit.
That's pretty cool. We could watch. I love this guy here. This is Decker Shadow. You ever watch his movie reviews?
I have not.
No, he is the Cyrano de Bergerac of the modern times. It's pretty amazing. But anyway,
next article.
next article. But definitely go check this out, guys. Really hope they have success with this, and we'll see if we can't get him back on the show to talk about the project again. I think it's awesome. Next, Booster.
Oh yeah, let's get some super chats. Star Wars: The Clone Wars final season trailer debut date. Yeah, let's whinge about Star Wars for about 2 hours.
No whinging. This is Clone Wars. No Star Wars whinging. But I did bring this up because I have a question. I'm not going to talk about the other nonsense. But I do have a question. Who here enjoyed the Clone Wars saga?
Me.
I'm talking about the animated series, right?
Yeah, good stuff.
Me.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good.
Good stuff.
Okay, in
Pretty
general. Now they brought it back, and they're doing I don't know if it's already back already. I think it was already. They've already done a season back, right? But this is the final season. They're ending it. Is that a good thing, or is that premature?
It'll be the quest for more money. They'll see what the stream ratings are, and then if it comes back, they might even do another finaler season.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true. Now this is the dude in the cowboy hat, right? What's his name?
Really, first off, you know where most of these characters go,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So the only character that really matters is the one in the middle.
Ahsoka.
You know exactly what happens to the other two.
Yeah. Well, no.
So it doesn't really.
Now, here, it's a good point, Todd. Now, here's the question, though. They have Ahsoka, right? Which is a beloved character from at least that side of the community who knows of it. Why didn't they use Ahsoka in the? Why didn't Disney come out and make a live action with Ahsoka? Why did they give us this nonsense? I'm just curious.
Because they would butcher her, and you don't want that.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, there's no.
He's right.
There's no telling that you might not see her. You know what I mean? Her voice was heard in Rise of Skywalker. That's all.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that proves she's dead, doesn't it?
It sort of does. That's what a lot of people thought. Like, well, you only heard the voices of the dead. You didn't hear any of the living.
Right. Well, my kids watched that Rebels. I think it was called Rebels. And there was an episode in there I remember watching with them where she fought Anakin, as Darth Vader, and it looked like she got taken out there.
Well, no, she didn't. There was a sort of Ezra saved her or something like that, but not Ezra, the young kid saved her. But there were a few episodes she was in. There was a really cool episode where they kind of walk through time a little bit.
Yeah. Now she's a cool character, man. I like the Ahsoka character. I'm just surprised they're not using him. I mean, you'd think they would. It's kind of like the perfect demographic for what they're after, right?
There's no. I mean, Dave Filoni's the guy who's also.
Yeah, Filoni, that's the guy. Yeah.
Right, he's the one that created that character, and he's also part of Mandalorian. So there's no saying you won't. Maybe he just doesn't want to overuse her, or give away what he wants to do with her. Because she leaves the Jedi Order and becomes what's called a white lighter.
Oh,
and that's
really?
just somebody who's like, that would be the equivalent of like a Ronin Jedi,
Now, Todd, how every time we do any kind of D&D thing here or video game, you always say nerd. You know how you do that a lot? Yeah. Well, nerd.
We've been over this. We've been over this. D&D is a far lower level of nerd, or higher maybe. I don't know how it goes.
No.
Than
Here's
Star
the
Wars.
thing. You're doing it on YouTube. Okay?
Yes.
It's not like so.
I'm supposed to keep those things secret and private in cabal fashion.
No, it's not. No, that's the only way. Look, you live where you live.
I think you probably should keep it private. It's like being a fairy or something. You just shouldn't be announcing it.
All right, someone's got to stand beside me. Who's standing beside me? John? Captain!
I'll stand beside you.
Thank you, John. Captain, are you a role player, or are you going to call me nerd too?
I mean, whenever my friends invite me over, I usually go, and then they get angry that I just, try to wreck the game.
Sounds like you.
My kind of
so
player.
I got my start role playing, and part of my being prolific was I actually did a lot of online role playing games, and I did a samurai game called Legend of the Five Rings. Have you played that, Chester?
I love that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I love you. You're my Patronus. And so I ran that for a long time, and I was just into, and I did the Star Wars D20, and I would run them for like 20, 30, 40 players at a time. and it got kind of nuts. But it got me writing my own stories and really thinking about my own stories all the time. And that's how I can just like crank out a story in like 2 seconds, because I've just trained my mind to just like come up with these on the fly.
Yeah,
In order
that's
to,
true.
like, for whatever players ended up in the chat at the time. So yeah, it's a big thing, and it's so much fun. I would love to do an online role playing stream where we get a game going and drink or something. It'd be great.
That'd be awesome. I'd be up for that. I run D&D and different things right now, but I'd be definitely up for the Legend of Five Rings. The role playing setting is amazing. I even like
Yes.
the D&D's kind of take on it. Have you played the CCG, or more importantly, what do you think of the new LCG that Fantasy Flight
I,
came out with?
I started with the CCG. I
Mm.
played during Imperial Edition back when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then I played up through, I think, Celestial Edition. And then it got kind of funky because there were all these OP imbalanced power problems.
It's true. Yeah.
And so I quit. I came back for like their last hurrah. And it kind of balanced out again pretty decently at that point, and it was fun again. And then I tried the LCG, and it's a neat game mechanic, but
It's different.
but it's just like it doesn't have a fun factor to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's very,
Yeah.
very different, and I just couldn't get my head around it. I think because if you guys are wondering, we're talking about tabletop card games, right? Like Magic. CCG is
Yes.
kind of like Magic, and I think a lot of people might not be aware of this because Magic so dominates that industry. But Legends of Five Rings card game is huge. It's like a
I used to
subculture
like
huge.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh
I was
sucks.
big into it.
You suck, Chester.
This fine. Yeah, that was a good one.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good
So
one.
much
I'm sorry,
violence in the voice.
I'm very defensive about Yu-Gi-Oh.
My
Yu-Gi-Oh.
my son played Yu-Gi-Oh for a while actually, but yeah, no, Legends Five Rings. I should definitely do something on Legends. Talk about that here, but anyway, let's move on to the next story here. Not get ourselves bogged down. We don't have a lot of time.
I could talk about it for hours.
No, I love Legends of Five Rings. It's really cool. Booster, do your damn job.
The hell is this weeb shit, Chester? Next, go next one. I don't like this.
Oh, God. New Bleach Team RPG game revealed for spring 2020. Now, this is more of a mobile game, I do believe. I just kind of looked at the what the gameplay is, so it seems very mobile. But the reason I put this up here is because, well, first of all, a lot of people love manga and anime. It's becoming more and more popular in the West. Also, Bleach was a mega hit, not only here in Japan, but also in the West. The real reason I brought this up was the last Bleach game we had was one of those really super crappy Chinese or Korean auto run type of MMOs. You know, those absolute crap
I was gonna
things.
say this doesn't look much better.
Well, no, this looks a lot better.
This looks like a mobile game. What the hell is this?
That's what I mean. It is a mobile game. I'm pretty sure it is. But my point was the last one was...
It's a mobile game and it's anime based. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you hater. But no, because that auto run MMO was just awful. It was just awful crap. It's like the worst possible game you could ever play. These games right here can be a lot more fun, and it's mobile. So all those you who enjoy Bleach, this might be a type of Bleach game that you would like over that nonsense. But nevertheless, I thought it was a cool thing to take a look at. But Booster's not happy. He doesn't like the weeb stuff, even though he is a weeb. Yes.
Yes.
How dare you? Just because I play a few JRPGs, and just because I play a lot of Final Fantasy, just because I have a Keyblade in my closet.
Dude, you have a Daimakura collection. What do you want about?
Daimakura here, and her name is Sakura.
That's true. It is true.
I just realized how weird that is. That's your daughter's name.
It is my daughter's name. You absolute asshole.
I didn't mean it that way.
Thank you. I'm telling Junko. You're in trouble now.
Oh no! Wait. They're telling me.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. All right, moving on though. Go ahead.
All right, what do we have here? Justice League Dark, Bad Robot developing film and TV projects based on Warner Bros. DC Comics.
Yeah, now we know that Warner Brothers has been threatening us for many months. We've been reporting here that Bad Robot is going to Warner Brothers to once again destroy another entire company and franchise. We got Jar Jar Abrams is coming to. He's going to strike again, and this time he's going after Justice League Dark. Oh my!
They've been talking about this movie for like a decade.
They have.
Yeah.
Now the cool thing
It's a
is,
really cool idea.
well, it is a
Like
great
this-
idea.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think, Captain Comes? Is this something you would actually would look forward to watching, or is it? Are you afraid that that Jar Jar is going to touch it? Yeah.
I mean, it sounds cool, but we don't even have like anything.
No, we don't. Yeah. We just know that JJ's involved, right?
Well,
we just know they
I
want
don't
to do
really
something.
like. He at least makes something that looks good, and you'll be happy
does.
watching.
That's
You'll never watch it again.
There you go. There you go. But I personally like Justice League Dark. I think it's I've always had a lot of fun with that book in particular, and I would love to see it. I mean, I think it could be really, really cool. And you are right, JJ does make beautiful things, but that's the problem. JJ's a cinematographer; he's not a director, right? We could have Constantine in here.
They did
I'm.
an animated one recently, which I actually thought was pretty good. I don't know if everyone else actually liked it, but I thought it was cool.
did. Yeah.
Oh,
But DC usually kills the
had my boy
animated.
Constantine. Yeah.
Well, but they, DC kills the animated stuff. They do a good job. Usually with that. Now, Todd, I hear you chuckling. What is your comment? Go ahead.
No, I'm not chuckling.
Oh, you're just breathing.
He's breathing.
He's breathing.
Yeah.
Oh no! But anybody got any comments on this before I move on? No, well, no one cares.
No.
All right, Jar Jar. See what you've done.
I think it's cool.
It could be. It
Maybe.
really could be. Yeah.
Probably won't be.
No. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, oh my God, the world today. This is from Downbounding in the Comics course. Is Trent and no, this isn't. This is Augustine who's done this one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Booster.
Leaked promotional material and designs show King Kong sports a beard in Gorilla vs. Kong. Godzilla versus Gorilla. Oh my God, Godzilla versus Kong.
What the hell do I pay you for? I mean, honestly. But now here's the thing. I put this one up for two reasons. One, a lot of people like King Kong, and I'm not a hater on King Kong whatsoever. But
I'm gonna lock against Godzilla.
It's a
big monkey.
So dumb. I mean, the problem with this is if you go back and look at Godzilla history, we had the first one, and which we watched on our Bunny Vision movie night show we used to do here before they killed Rabbit, and everyone was shocked. I mean, that movie is so old, but it literally silenced the entire panel. It was so epic.
It was a beautiful movie.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, but it's so good, dude. It is so good.
Yeah.
It's emotional. It's just beautifully done.
It's a powerful movie.
It is very powerful. And then they followed it up by a couple things, and one of the first few things that followed up was the versus King Kong, and it was successful. But I've seen it. It sucks both balls, dude.
It was originally supposed to be Frankenstein.
It was. That's right. And they did that later. Yeah, no, you're right.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But would he be a big Frankenstein, or was it just teeny Frankenstein versus big Godzilla? What's going on with that?
He grows. He grows.
Actually,
Yeah.
Frankenstein versus big Godzilla.
See,
Like
Japanese don't really get it. The Japanese don't actually get it. Don't pick on them. I don't know, dude.
Onigashimasu. My apologies.
Onigashimasu. But I didn't like those movies very much. I didn't care for the big the King Kong one. But people did, and this is nostalgia that's bringing this back. The problem is the new Godzilla movies are okay. Thundera loves them. And the King Kong movies are okay. They're fine. They're a popcorn movie. But how in the hell are you going to put King Kong against this Godzilla, which is way bigger than the original? I mean, he's tripled in size, quadrupled.
And King Kong's only like he's not even close to as big as Godzilla.
Yeah, but
he's about to use his nuts like a boxing.
Yeah, but look at the toy line. The toy line showing that he's basically the same size as them now. So they've
Well,
made.
I mean, I'm sure in the movie they're gonna like shoot him with a ray, and then it's gonna make him bigger.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that giant robot could shoot him.
See, I already wrote my first comic right there.
There you go. There you go. Shooting rays into King Kong.
What's the name of that
Ray
robot?
Skywalker.
Mecha Godzilla, dude.
I'm actually gonna write a new comic. Skywalker, he gets shot with a ray and then fights Godzilla.
There you go. There you go. Godzilla's gonna take one for the team.
I was gonna write a book, The Star War. I don't see why. Not plural. One war.
Yeah.
One war.
Just one more.
One more. And then they're done. They're like, this is all we got in our system, boys. We're not fighting anymore.
We can have Godzilla in it. Just saying.
And you could have laser axes. That would be awesome.
Laser axes.
Yeah, laser axes. But anyway.
Swords.
Yeah, right. You don't want to get in trouble. George Lucas will come at you. Disney certainly will. But this whole article is the fact that he has a beard, which I didn't even cover. Yay. Okay. But
I think his beard is very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. It makes him like a grandfather.
Yeah, it makes him look more mature.
It makes you want to root for him.
Yeah. Well, the biggest
it's like a racial slur towards Godzilla.
Oh no. But don't get me started. Because the biggest actual episode we've had on this channel was when I was live at Tokyo Comic Con. And I did a live streaming of the panel for the upcoming Godzilla movie, which is of course already come out. But what are we up to? Like 10,000 views on that? For us, that's a lot.
You got like 1,000 views live, but Chester, the most viewed thing we have on this channel is our little commentary we did on The Princess Bride. Not because people liked it, but people thought it was the movie.
That's true, and I've got so much hate. I've got so much hate on that.
40,000 views or something as a
what is this shit, man? Oh my god,
so mad.
Right?
It's like, yeah, we uploaded The Princess Bride. That's right.
And they allowed it.
Right. But no, people get so mad at me. They yell at me constantly on that. These random people coming across, and of course I could take it down, but no, screw that. I'm loving that too much. I just got a comment the other day. It's like, who the hell thinks the narrator's drunk? Who's that idiot? Because it's Booster. Because you called Peter Falk drunk, and it's like he has a tick, man. What? What?
This is not the movie, just a bunch of talking. Ugh. Clickbait, not the movie.
No, and it doesn't even say it's the movie, idiots. How many did you say that's up to now?
This one says effing trash, delete yourself.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Oh no,
yeah. That was
27,000 views.
Jeez. Okay, that's our biggest one. I do apologize, but it's funny because we used to love to do that Bunny Vision movie night with the rabbit, and we had a lot of fun with that. And the whole idea is you start the movie when we say go. And we watch the movie together. You can watch it on your own, and we just do commentary over that. A bunch of idiots talking about a movie, and we had a lot of fun with it. And then they killed Rabbit, so we couldn't do it anymore. But the Princess Bride one really gets people out of shape, dude. I mean, just straight out of shape. They're not.
For some reason, people thought we uploaded the movie.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but all right, whatever. Maybe what was the title on it? How did I title it?
You titled it Princess Bride Bunny Vision Movie Night, like you did with every single other one.
So what's the problem, right? Well, anyway, I think it's funny, so I leave it up. I love getting the random hate mail from it. It's fun, especially the last one about Booster. That was pretty cool because I agree.
What? No.
Moving on. Now this. Oh God, these people. Go ahead, Booster. Go ahead.
New details and launch date for NBC's Universal's Peacock streaming service. So another streaming service.
Another, yeah. It's just we keep getting inundated left and right by these stupid things.
I don't want any more streaming services.
No.
Go away.
Go away.
What's funny is NBC is like a free channel.
Yeah, I know, right? It's weird. And
Why would you pay for something free?
Yeah, well, it's basically Universal, right?
Oh, Universal movies as well.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be dropping down. But we're getting so many of this, and it's like, how long do you think it's going to take for them to realize we're not shelling out for all these streaming services, guys? We're really not, right? But they keep trying. No, it's not happening. I mean,
I'm going to get like a free trial, then I'm canceling it immediately. That's what's going to happen. I promise you that.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, basically, most people will carry two, right? Maybe three. Because I know in this house, I basically have the Netflix, which the only reason I keep it is because my kids watch anime on it sometimes. And then we also have Amazon Prime, which I didn't get that. My wife got that. So I have two, and I haven't got the Disney Plus yet, and I don't know that I will. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Thundero, yell at them. Shoot lightning out of your balls at them. I mean, get them.
That's not where it comes out of, Chester. That's not how that works.
Oh.
Now, it's dumb. You're gonna see a big, like, flood of these over the next few years.
Yeah.
Most of them will fail, and we'll be right back where we were 5 years ago because it's just not gonna work. People aren't gonna spend that much money on the 17 different streaming services. It's a pointless endeavor.
Yeah. And I don't know why you would call it Peacock. Why don't you just call it Universal Streaming? That would have been a lot more appealing. Who wants to watch Peacock?
I think it's because NBC has the little peacock as their little
Oh no,
icon or whatever.
I get it. I just
Oh,
don't.
I didn't know if you got it or not.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I didn't make that connection at all.
Well, that's because you're a child.
I'm not a child. I'm 27. I'm a big boy now.
Uh-huh.
I wipe my own ass.
Yeah. Well, there was a time where a lot of us who are they're even on this channel right now talking to you. We had 3 channels to watch: ABC, CBS, and the frickin' Peacock. Right.
Sometimes you didn't even get Fox.
No, even back in that day, no, that was much later, dude. I'm much older than you think I am. We had PBS. We sometimes could get UHF stuff occasionally, but yeah, no. But it's just dumb. But we'll see. It's going to pan out one way or the other. But I do want to get on to these next ones because I want to go back and talk about John's book. So let's move on. Now this right here. Okay. Now hold on a second. Hold on a second. You go ahead and do the headline, and then we'll get into it. Go ahead.
Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman, represents a really strong femininity she is excited to dive into.
All right. Now, first things first.
How about you dive out of this role? I don't
please.
like you. Get the face out of here.
Now, first of all, Zoe, I love your dad. Your dad's badass, and he will always be badass. So, rock on. American woman indeed. But you, now I don't know, she's supposed to be playing Catwoman, and she's kind of got like a cave woman type of sensuality, I guess. I suppose it'll work.
Yeah.
Is
that like a racist thing? What are we doing here?
Does caveman and non-white image come into your mind ever? Really?
Let's
anyway,
move on.
Moving on. But of course, Booster loves to point out my racism, I suppose. But she does have that kind of wild, savage type of beauty to her in a way. I don't necessarily think it's a horrible look. Of course, I don't know why we need to have another black lady playing Celine, but whatever. I don't really care as much about that. But here's the thing: when you get into femininity, and she goes on and on about it in this article, she got a raw, like primal beauty to her. I don't mind it actually.
I don't like that. I don't like that bull ring.
Oh, they're idiots. I don't understand why a young generation does this.
Yeah,
what are you? Are you chattel? Is that what you are?
I just want to wave a little red cape in front of her, see what happens.
Yeah. But she rattles on and on and on here about femininity and feminism and how awesome it is and women's power and women's strength and yada, 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 yada. Although she does balance it a little bit by admitting that Batman is male. So you have that. Now, the thing with Zoe here, she is very proud of it, but I kind of think she's missing the character a little bit. Now, I want the opinion of the panel here because for me, Catwoman 1 is the ultra capitalist. I mean, ultimately, she's a thief, right? And I've never.
She steals from rich people. That sounds socialist to me.
Yeah, and she keeps it herself, right? But I've never really seen. There are some characters in comic books that are certainly a feminine or a feminism icon. I get it, Wonder Woman being one of them. But I never saw Catwoman that way. She uses her sensuality or sexuality to her advantage all the time. Now I know they tried to, after a while in DC, they tried to make her kind of like a conflicted bad guy by always trying to put her in a love relationship with Batman, which is cool. But I never seen her as a feminist character, particularly. You guys have a different opinion on that?
Nope.
You guys suck, man. You know, this is like a radio show, right?
Sorry, I'm talking to my wife, and she's way more interesting and way better looking than you.
It's
Chester.
fair.
Sorry,
It's
I can't.
That's fair.
Hey, Chester, I think it's a close competition. I think you're very pretty.
I know you do, but you're the ultra hetero. And have you apologized to Ezra Miller for breaking off your relationship and betraying him for Henry Cavill? I mean, really?
I'm waiting for him to apologize to me.
I
caught him with that goat.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Here we go. But all right, so no one else is going to take a bite out of it. But I've never seen Catwoman that way. She is a strong female character, but she's never been a feminist character. She's never been that way. So for you to take this character and turn it into that, well, you're not playing Catwoman, right? But I don't know. I do love the savage beauty of the lady, though. I think, even though I think it's ridiculous.
Look at her. You're calling her a savage. Goodness gracious.
Do you not see a savage beauty in front of you? You don't see that.
Let's move on, for fuck's sake. Oh no. Just move on.
Am I wrong?
She's very attractive. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Chester. I'd shag her. All right.
You guys, every one of you suck. All right, just so you know, every one of you. All right, fine. I will move on then. I thought it was an interesting conversation, but no. All right, go ahead. Now this one, I definitely looking forward to.
Marvel Zombies invade Marvel Comics variants this April. Why not October?
Just variants.
All right,
Just
now
variants, I guess.
Here's the thing. The reason I brought this up, and I'm going to see what everyone here says. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more Marvel Zombies coming. I hated this run. I hated it with a passion. It was the stupidest damn thing Marvel's ever done. What the hell do we need frickin' zombies for? That's my opinion. And there's more of it coming. Oh man, this sucks. Any one of you, please defend Marvel Zombies. Go ahead.
I thought it was fun.
Nope. Oh.
I like
We were going to nope again.
Oh, you want me to nope again? I want to. I thought it was fun. I'd read it again. I don't care.
I'm waiting for them to make a Marvel Zombies movie because I got like 15 copies of the first appearance, and I'm looking to sell those things on eBay.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow. That's it.
Yeah, this is a PG-13 plus show, dude. Don't worry about it. You don't have to hold yourself back so much, especially with Booster here. He's this foul-mouthed, vulgar kid.
Yeah,
he's a filthy, disgusting degenerate. Yeah.
He is.
But and I'm so ashamed. Punish me.
So therefore, we want this to be successful, so they make a movie, so that Captain Cummins can make money back on his investment. So there's some round thinking right there. So seeing as my panel has no interest in talking with me or chatting with me or being involved at all, I guess let's just go back to talking about John's book. Go ahead, John.
A little passive aggressive little bitch. Goodness me.
Wow.
All right. Oh no, let's go back to that. All right, John. So we're back looking at your book now. You told us basically this guy created a clockwork automaton for himself. The government found out about it. They want to come and confiscate it because they're the government. Now we're in America, or no, we're not though. I think it's at Scotland.
We're not. We're in Scotland, 1898. Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I set this in Victorian Britain, and it actually hops around all of Britain. So you get to go to London for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You get to go to the Isle of Man. You get to go to a couple other places. So, I did a lot of historical research just to make sure that I nailed on some accurate things. Like you see him cranking a photograph there, not cranking it, guys, cranking a phonograph. It's I wanted to make sure because I wasn't sure exactly when those were invented. I mean, you don't know most people don't know the exact years of these things, right? But it turns out these did exist in 1898, and so he could actually play some music by doing that. And just little details like that. I just made sure I was accurate on, and it was a lot of fun. Like actually researching into history. We actually we found some photographs of like some old locations. There's a prison yard later in the issue once you get to reading it. And that prison yard's a real prison yard that existed at that time. And it's just these little fun things just make it so that the world is much livelier than just any random comic, I think.
Well, that is that is cool. Now, of course, the gramophone I do believe was created in the '80s, late '80s, I do believe. But the actual phonograph or the concept of it had been around much, much earlier. So for sure, it was definitely available. And I appreciate that because that's one of the things that I complain a lot about over on this channel. One of my biggest complaints with a lot of these comic books and things that are coming out, people don't do their research anymore. They don't bother. Right, and it's not just comics; it's movies and stuff like that.
Like all you got to do is like read a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, right.
It's not even hard.
Yeah, exactly. This is a real big problem. So I always appreciate people who do their job, right? And it's
it's extremely important in a historical setting because it's like this time actually existed. Now, obviously, there weren't automatons and airships and all that running around back then. But yeah, that's what's going to end up changing my little world here, and that's what's going to end up the dynamic story conflict where these things exist. That's a huge technology advantage for whoever has control over it, and so the church is going to have to get involved because they want to keep control over things. This is the Anglican Church we're talking about in England, of course, and Queen Victoria herself is going to get involved because this could potentially change the balance of power. And we're not all that far from World War I, of which Captain Cummings is a scholar. So this could propel events and change things differently. I mean, I'll keep pushing this on as long as people keep buying like everything else. So I mean, I can extrapolate these things out into a World War I diesel punk setting where it could be very fun. I'm already coming up with story ideas for it, but
yeah. Oh, that's cool, dude. And one of the things is, you can only really in one story, you can only expect people to put aside their expectations or their expectations of reality on one thing. You can't keep dropping one on top of the other. You can't do it. You have to have one thing. So if your story has an automaton in it, as yours does, everything else needs to be right on point, and that sells it better, right? You can't you can't suspend your disbelief 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 times unless you're Force Awakens and somehow that's supposed to be a good movie. But I'm just saying. But nevertheless, this is a cool looking book, guys. Jon is extremely prolific. He does a lot of good work. Definitely happy to have you on the show, Jon. But you should come back more often, man. And Booster's going to put you in all the proper Discords. So you can talk to us and talk to those artists as well. But let me come back over the other side because we are at the end of our time.
I just want to mention I'll be crowdfunding a new book on Kickstarter in about probably 3 to 4 weeks here. So I'll be making the rounds again. I don't stream all that often off my own channel just because it's very time consuming and then I won't have time to write. But during these promotional blitzes, that's when I try to come on and hang out as much as I can. So love you guys and thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you very much, Jon. Yeah. And of course, we're also happy to have for the very first time, Captain Cummings join us. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, no, anytime. Absolutely. Booster's going to make sure he gets you a link because we'd love to talk to you more. And definitely, we're going to have to keep nagging you until you get yourself a comic book out there, dude, because I think a lot of people would buy it, actually. As long as it didn't suck balls, but just don't take any advice from, Booster. But
great advice.
yeah, but very happy to have you on, man. Nice to meet you for the first time, and thank you very much. So Thundero, give them some wisdom of the Lord, please.
Oh, which one?
Whatever one you choose to pick, sir. I do not argue with lightning bolt throwing people.
I would like to purchase one wisdom, please.
One wisdom, please. Okay, let's see. What do we got? What's been going on this week? It's been a pretty hectic week. We're only in the middle of it. We had a big rally in Virginia. It was awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Didn't deter the Democrats. I don't think anybody thought it really would. But it was a good show of solidarity.
Thousands showed up. Thousands, baby. Yeah.
And that's a good thing. And I just want people to realize, we have Jon here. We have Captain Cummings for the first time here, which is good to talk to him. that no matter how bleak things get, you do not ever need to despair, because it will get better. It always does. Always. There's
Fair
been
point.
thousands of people, thousands and thousands of generations before us. There'll be thousands and thousands more. This is not the end. We are only in the middle.
There you go. There you go. Truth. But that was not our namaste. I'm going to namaste it, but it's not our namaste for the day. It can't
This
be.
guy just sets me up for namaste and then pulls it away from me.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't even namaste the guy.
Sorry.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Namaste, I give him that. But which he giveth, he may taketh away, Thundero. Please remember. But no, the namaste today is going to come from Todd. Todd has been real quiet.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
No,
he's going to give us wisdom.
But I have a
He's going to impart.
question, because this whole time John's been on here, you showed one little bit of that book.
Are you not paying attention? The first 20, 30 minutes of the show, we were on the book the whole time. Did you come in late?
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about as far as what you showed of it.
Well, dude, why would I go deep into a book he's selling? Are you kidding me?
I don't know. Why would you not?
I'm definitely not namasteing that. Definitely, you're not namasteable. No namaste.
I expected to see 3 or 4 pages.
I showed 3. I showed 3. Yeah, I'm not going to show more. He's trying to sell a book. I'm not going to show the whole book. That would be uncool.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, I know you. Well, you miss a lot. It's that heavy breathing, sleeping stuff is kind of got to get to you.
I mean, you're welcome to read it. You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, I am going to read it, dude, but I'm not going to show the whole book on the live stream. Obviously not. But anyway, so which means I got to go back and take Thundero's namaste. Fine.
That's right.
All right, fine. Namaste. Later.
Aloha.
Aloha.